Welcome to a new edition of the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino. On this episode, we talk with accountant turned business coach, Stacey Bennett. Stacey loves teaching business owners how to run healthy, profitable companies. She is a certified Profit First professional and the creator of a 2-day Profit Accelerator program. She believes that business should be a force for good in the world, and she passionately helps other leaders leverage their numbers to make a difference. Enjoy this interview.
Well, thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited.
Me too. So before we get into your life and your work, I want to know, the last 3 years with COVID has done a lot of different things to all of us. And I'm wondering how you survived that time period and how it's changed the way that you go about living life and doing your business now.
Oh, man. So many things changed in so many big ways. And COVID actually facilitated it. So I am in the accounting industry, and so my industry, my job was impacted in the we got way busier way. And so really where a lot of my friends and colleagues or friends and family were, slowing down, spending more time at home, spending more time with, family, I was busier than I've ever been. And the upside of that is that I got to keep working. I stayed employed, and I was really able to be of service to my clients in a whole new set of ways. So I learned a lot, but also technology dramatically changed my capacity to work from home, to work remotely, and to really be able to communicate with clients in a virtual space, which wasn't quite normalized at that point, even though we've been moving that direction for a number of years. So after COVID hit, it totally shifted my industry really towards working with our clients in a remote fashion. So at the beginning of 2022, when I was ready to leave my old firm and start my own business and move out of the city and buy a house about 2 hours out of Denver and still be able to sustain my company, I had the technological infrastructure in place to do that. So all of that was, really, really wonderful. And I'd say that's probably the biggest difference.
So one of the best ways for us to understand exactly who we are and what we do is to simplify it in the way that a child would think about it. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day, and one of them asks you, what do you do for a living? How do you answer them?
I help business owners keep track of their money.
So when you were in the third grade, looking up at that guest speaker, what were you wanting to do when you grew up?
Oh, man. I wanted to do everything when I was in third grade. I wanted to be a doctor and a lawyer and a missionary and a writer and a teacher. I remember saying that when people would ask me what I wanted to do. And by the time I was probably in about 5th or 6th grade is when I started simplifying it and just saying I want to change the world.
Excellent. So are you happy with how everything's turned out?
I am. I have a really good life, and a lot of pieces, especially in the last couple of years, have come together. I mean, it's been a long journey to get here. And there were definitely, and still are, points when I look around and wonder, how everything is going to add up. But especially this year, I've been really present to what I've built for myself with my family and my home, my business, and just who I'm becoming as a person. And yes, I am highly satisfied with how everything has turned out.
So who's been a role model or a hero for you in your life consistently?
I feel like this is probably a cliche answer, but it's totally true. Both of my parents for different things. My mom is so hugely caring and loving. She's been a model of how to embrace the world with an open heart, to show up with compassion. And my dad is so, disciplined. He marches to the beat of his own drum. He doesn't take any crap from anyone. And he's just really strong and really consistent. And I feel like I got the best of both of them.
So if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now and spend some time with them, who would it be?
That's a good question. One of my favorite authors is Cheryl Strayed. I've read her book Wild probably 4 or 5 times. And so many times I felt like she was talking directly to me. I would love to sit down for coffee with her and just know her.
So speaking of books, what was the first book when you were young that you read that really opened your mind up and made you love reading?
Oh my gosh. I was a huge bookworm when I was a kid. I read more than I did anything else. I think the first set of books that I read, I was really into the Boxcar Children series. And I remember that being kind of one of the first places that it took root that I could do this like all the time. I fell in love with the characters and their stories, and I was insatiable for the books. And I think that really helped instill a love of reading.
So, every day we get up out of bed and we move about our day, we're motivated to do that. What's your motivating force? What sends you through the day? What makes you look forward to the next thing?
I love this question so much, and it's something I've been bringing clarity to, especially over the last couple of months as, I'm building this business. While I, enjoy numbers and am motivated by being able to help business owners, what really gets me up and gets me moving is building a better world for young people. And I see the impact that I'm having on future generations by supporting businesses that are doing good work in the world. And I want to give kids something to look forward to. I want to give them opportunities to pursue a future that works for them. And I want to give them a world that's safe and that is, set up for them to succeed. So that working with kids and young people and creating those kind of opportunities and resources is what drives me more than anything in life.
So let's take you to the end of the proverbial day. How do you look back on that day and say that was a good day?
I have a new practice. A lot of these questions are just coming at the perfect time. But I have a new practice that I started earlier this year of blessing my day and giving it up to God. And really intentionally, I sit down and I reflect on the day and I literally give it to God. I tell him, thank you for everything that I got to do. Please use all of my efforts, magnify them, give them in service to the world, give them in service to your plan. And there's something about starting to do that has given my day meaning in retrospect. Like when I get to the end of the day and I hand things over, these sort of like seemingly mundane tasks, like, balancing a company's checkbook, right? When I hand them over and say, let this be something that you use in service of building a better world, I feel like I did something.
Yeah, cool. So let me ask you this, based on the life that you've lived and the wisdom that you've gained, let's say you have a dream tonight and you run into the 20-year-old version of yourself and you could give that version of you a piece of advice based on the life you've lived and the things that you've overcome. What would you say to your younger version?
Easy. Don't be so hard on yourself. Relax. You are doing so much and you're trying so hard and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, let go and have some fun with it. 100%. If I could go back and change anything or give my younger self anything, it would just be the affirmation that my efforts today are enough. At every stage of the journey, trust yourself and appreciate yourself for everything you're giving and doing.
So speaking of giving and doing, what's been one of the best client responses, fan letters, so to speak, that you've gotten for the work you've done?
I have a folder in my email box called My Happy Place. And it is literally where I save emails and notes that I receive from clients and coworkers about the difference that I'm making for them. And, I don't know if I've got one specifically off the top of my head as like a best, but when I hear from clients how much easier I make their life and their job and how much they appreciate the work that I'm doing, it definitely, buoys and boosts my my sense of purpose in the work that I'm doing.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, an idea of who they think you are, your family, your friends, your clients, but ultimately you live your life. You have a perception of yourself. Who do you think you are?
I am creating that every single day. I definitely live by the belief that we are no fixed way and that every moment is an opportunity for creating who we are. And, who I say I am today is going to be different in a year from now. So, but I would say some of the essential parts of me that I choose to create over and over and over again are that I care about the world and I'm here to make a difference. And I'm sensitive and I feel emotions and love and embrace them from myself and from other people. And yeah, I care about kids and young people and I believe in them and I believe the world should be a good place for them. So those are all really like parts of me that I think I create repeatedly because those are the most meaningful aspects of myself.
So, Stacey, if anyone out there wants to learn more about you, your services, anything related to your world, where can they go on the web?
Yay. So you can find me a few places. My business website is theslcgroup.co. That's Stacey Lynn Coaching. So theslcgroup.co. You can also find me on LinkedIn. My URL or my backslash is Stacey Lynn Bennett, STACEYLYNNBENNETT. And then I am running a 2-day Profit Accelerator. So it's we didn't talk much about it, but kind of my jazz in life is helping companies manage their money smart. And I coach them on Profit First. So I've got a 2-day accelerated program. It's 2 like the number day profitaccelerator.com. Any of those places they can find me.
Wonderful. Stacey, thank you for opening up, giving us some time to get to understand you and how things work in your world. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good luck with you too.
Thanks for tuning in to another famous interview with Joe Dimino, where we cover the world of art, literature, business, spirituality, music, and more from around the globe. If you want to hear more interviews, visit the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino channel on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and until next time.